Hello observers. I wasn't actually sure if this video was going to come out at all. I knew Paint the Town Red VR was coming to PSVR 2 today, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the PlayStation Store. Searching online, I finally found a thread on Reddit from the dev team, Southeast Games, with a link to the game in the PlayStation Store, which I'll post in the comments of this video. I spent over an hour in the game, which was enough to get a pretty solid feel for what this title had to offer. And it was fun and silly and gory, but it is another one of those titles that seemed kind of thin, and I am not sure I'll spend a lot of time coming back to it. The graphics are voxel style, which I am normally not a fan of, but in this case it kind of added to the ridiculousness of the game, and with the level of gore this title has, I definitely understand why they chose that aesthetic. There are three basic game modes, which are scenarios, where you fight in a themed environment inhabited with appropriate enemies. These include a biker bar, a disco, prison, and then a pirate cove, which has a night and a day mode. The underneath game mode, which is a roguelike horror-themed game mode with zombies and monsters and mutants, which I didn't play really enough of. If I do come back to this title, I imagine it will be specifically to explore this game mode more. And then there's an arena mode, which is a wave fighter, with 10 stages populated with character models from the scenario levels. As you fight, you power up 3 special abilities in a tier system. The tiers are Shockwave, which launches the enemies around you into the air and does a lot of damage. Berserker, which is reminiscent of the Berserker sphere from the Doom franchise, where you can basically punch through people with so much force that they explode. And then the Smite ability, which is like a smaller version of the Gears of War's Hammer of Dawn, where a beam of light comes down and strikes your enemies from above. The game definitely has some humorous elements, and if you're in a silly mood, it can be pretty fun. Most items can be used as weapons, such as serving trays, beer steins, wine glasses, chairs, etc. The throw mechanics work perfectly, which some games struggle with in VR. I played everything on standard mode, and I was able to clear all of the scenarios in less than 30 minutes. I even died twice, once in the first level before I got my rhythm, and once in the disco level where I tried to take the hardest enemy first and regretted it instantly. I played the arena, and I was able to get all the way to the final stage, 10, in one try. Mind you, all of this is on standard difficulty, so harder difficulties might take longer. The roguelike underneath, however, which I think might be a reference to Stranger Things, killed me pretty fast though, as I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm one of the few who hasn't actually played that many roguelikes, and I'm sure that will change now that I have this channel. All in all, I played for 75 minutes from the tutorial, through the scenarios, got a taste of the underneath, and got to the final stages of the arena all in that time. And that was with me dying twice in the scenarios. Not knowing how to get out of the tutorial for a few minutes, I just had to use all the special attacks in order. And spending quite a few minutes running around in the facility in the underneath mode, before taking the elevator to where the actual monsters are, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Scoring this one's a bit tough because I did have fun playing it. The graphics aren't incredible, but they kind of aren't supposed to be, so I'm willing to give that a pass. As far as replay value, there are scoreboards, so if that is something you care about, you might go and try to beat your scores, but I won't. There's just too many games to play. I do want to go out and check out the underneath mode more, but I'm confident it isn't going to give this game a huge score bump. When I rate a game, I really try to be streamlined throughout. I'm not going to give a small experience like this a 10. It just isn't fair to the games that put out premium content. And at the end of the day, a high-ranked game should be better quality than a low-ranked game. Whether or not it's an indie title isn't going to sway me one way or the other. I start with whether or not I like the game, and if not, whether or not I can still acknowledge how great the quality of the game is, even if it isn't a genre I personally love. If the answer to either of those questions is yes, the game gets above a 5 from me. If both are no, the game will score lower than 5. This game gets that base 5 ranking. But from there I have to look at things like game mechanics, which this game mechanics work very well. I will also measure replay value, which this game kind of lacks. I will measure the amount of content in the game, which is pretty thin on this title, even with 3 game modes. Whether or not the game pulled me into the environment with graphics, level design, etc. And this game actually had well thought out environments, but they were small and they were simple voxel environments. I'm not charitable with my ratings, so don't be discouraged from buying a game that I give more than a 5 to. But the highest I can honestly rate this game is a 6 out of 10. If you want something silly and different, this game offers that, but I don't think you're going to be coming back to it regularly. I don't think it's going to be relevant in 6 months. But if it's an experience that you're drawn to, get it. I just don't want anyone being disappointed. If you are torn, maybe wait until it's on sale. Once again, if you are interested in buying this game on PSVR 2, I have posted the links to the PlayStation Store page in the comment section of this video. I want to take this time just to give a shout out to the people who have watched, liked, and commented on my videos. I am a few days away from 2 weeks since I posted my first video on YouTube, and every thumbs up I get or comment is a huge encouragement to keep going and to get better at making these videos. Words can't really express how much I appreciate the people who have subscribed. It feels incredible to think that there are people out there who are cheering me on and enjoying my content, and I really don't take it for granted. If there is any comment that you want to see, tutorials for VR games, reviews for old VR titles or new ones, playthroughs, etc., please comment below. I have PC VR, Quest 3, PSVR 2, and even though it seems like PSVR 2 is holding my attention so far, I love all VR and have been playing VR for the better part of a decade. So feel free to bring up any VR topic and I will try my best to provide that content to you. Thank you for being here, and game on.